Have you ever wondered what lurked beneath the waves millions of years ago, when the oceans were a wild, untamed frontier, ruled by creatures so bizarre they'd make your skin crawl? Picture this: a world before humans, where the seas churned with predators that dwarfed anything we know today. Monsters with jaws like steel traps and bodies built for terror. We're not talking about sharks or whales here. These are the real titans of the deep, forgotten by time, but etched into the fossil record. Today, we're diving into the top 10 prehistoric sea monsters that once ruled the ancient oceans. From razor-toothed reptiles to colossal squid-like beasts, this list will take you on a journey through a watery graveyard of nightmares. So, let's plunge in, starting with a creature that could swallow you whole without a second thought. Number 10. Dunkleosteus. Imagine a fish, but not your average goldfish. This guy was a 30-foot-long armored tank with a bite force that could crush bone like it was a cracker. Living about 360 million years ago, Dunkleosteus didn't have teeth. Instead, it had bony plates that worked like guillotines, slicing through prey with surgical precision. Scientists think it ruled the Devonian seas, hunting anything dumb enough to swim nearby. Its skull alone tells a story of raw power, a relic of a time when the ocean was a gladiator arena. Next up, number 9. Livyatan Melvillei. Named after the biblical Leviathan and Herman Melville, the guy who wrote Moby Dick. This was a whale with a dark twist. Around 13 million years ago, this 50-foot beast prowled the Miocene seas with teeth the size of your forearm, up to 14 inches long. Unlike today's filter-feeding whales, Livyatan was a hyper-predator, likely ambushing giant sharks and other whales. Picture it, a silent hunter, erupting from the depths to clamp down on its prey, its jaw a vice of death. The ocean was its kingdom, and mercy wasn't on the menu. At number 8, we've got Helicoprion, a shark-like freak with a buzzsaw for a mouth. This thing swam the Permian seas 290 million years ago, and its lower jaw was a spiral of teeth, like a chainsaw on a roller coaster track. Some say it unrolled that world to shred prey. Others think it spun like a meat grinder. Either way, at 20 feet long, Helicoprion was a swimming nightmare. Fossils of its tooth whorl have puzzled scientists for years, but one thing's clear: you wouldn't want to meet it on a dive. Number 7. Tylosaurus. This mosasaur was a 50-foot-long sea lizard that dominated the Cretaceous seas 80 million years ago. Think of it as a Komodo dragon crossed with a crocodile, but bigger, meaner, and perfectly at home in the water. With a powerful tail and jaws packed with conical teeth, Tylosaurus could take down turtles, fish, even other mosasaurs. One fossil shows it swallowed a plesiosaur whole. Talk about an overachiever. It's the kind of monster that makes you glad the dinosaurs checked out. Now, number 6. Pliosaurus. This short-necked plesiosaur was a 40-foot killing machine from the Jurassic, about 150 million years ago. Its massive head, 10 feet long, housed jaws that could snap a car in half, with teeth like daggers. Scientists found a Pliosaurus skull in England with a bite force estimated at 33,000 pounds per square inch. It didn't chase prey. It ambushed, striking with such ferocity that bones shattered. The Jurassic seas were its playground, and everything else was lunch. Halfway there, number 5. Kronosaurus. Another pliosaur, this Australian terror stretched up to 35 feet and lived 100 million years ago. Named after the titan Kronos, who ate his own kids, this beast had a head the size of a small boat and teeth like spikes. It hunted in the Cretaceous oceans, smashing through ammonites and snapping up smaller reptiles. One fossil shows bite marks on a sea turtle's shell. Kronosaurus didn't mess around. It was the apex predator of its time, a name whispered in fear by ancient waves. Number 4. Megalodon. You knew this one was coming. This wasn't just a shark, it was the shark. A 60-foot-long colossus that roamed the oceans 23 to 3 million years ago. With teeth the size of your hand and a bite that could crush a whale's skull, Megalodon was the undisputed king of the Cenozoic seas. It didn't nibble, it demolished, leaving behind a trail of shattered bones. Some say it could have swallowed a great white shark in 2 bites. The ocean trembled when Megalodon was hungry, and it was always hungry. Number 3. Ichthyosaurus. Okay, not the biggest at 10 feet, but don't sleep on this one. This dolphin-like reptile from 200 million years ago was a speed demon in the Triassic and Jurassic seas. With huge eyes for spotting prey and a streamlined body, Ichthyosaurus hunted fish and squid with deadly precision. Fossils show it gave birth to live young, sometimes mid-meal, with food still in its gut. It's less monster and more perfect predator, a sleek shadow in the deep. Number 2, Elasmosaurus. This long-necked plesiosaur stretched 46 feet, with a neck that made up half its length. Think a snake with flippers. Swimming the late Cretaceous seas 80 million years ago, it used that neck to snatch fish and squid with eerie grace. Its small head and needle-like teeth were deceptively deadly, striking from angles prey couldn't predict. Fossils hint it was a loner, drifting through the oceans like a ghostly executioner. And finally, number 1, Mosasaurus. The granddaddy of sea monsters, this 60-foot Leviathan ruled the late Cretaceous 70 million years ago. With double-hinged jaws like a snake and a second row of teeth in its throat, Mosasaurus didn't just bite, it consumed. It ate sharks, plesiosaurs, even its own kind. One fossil shows a Mosasaurus with 3 other reptiles in its stomach. It was the T-Rex of the sea, a relentless force of nature that owned the ancient waves. These creatures weren't just animals. They were legends carved into the Earth's history, rulers of a lost world beneath the tides. From buzzsaw jaws to bone-crushing bites, they remind us how wild the oceans once were. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.